Today I'm going to be talking about the history of the karate belts. Uh, Something you'll see people wear in their. So this is my black belt. There's my three stripes here, representing the third Dan belt. And I don't know how many people, if they say, oh, uh, each people, I've seen videos about how to tie a belt on you, on yourself. The the there like if you go into jujitsu, they always talk about belts, what they represent the belts, but nobody would tell the history of how belts came about, why it is important today, what became important today. So we'll scroll down a little bit and read the and this is the man right here. Uh, you'll see the name his name in a minute. His name is uh, Jigoro Kano. That's the man's name, and uh, we've now hit on two very different matters about where quality belts came from. They didn't come from not watching belts, and they weren't invented by invented for Native Americans. So where did they come from? We must recognize that what came first wasn't the belts. It was the Kuru Dan ranking system. Kuru means 9. Dan is the level of the level of that person, right? Uh, Also, the that belt level is red. Not what Americans look at when you get a red belt in American Karate or whatever. Uh, it's when you get your first real belt. Uh, that's representing you're getting closer to the black belt level. That's not true. And what it really was supposed to be was to be able to rank uh supposed to be rated for the top level, the Grandmaster 8th, 9th, and 10th with the Grandmaster level. So let's finish on what I'm reading on here. System that was built with sense. The ranking system isn't unique to the martial arts. Jigoro Kano, the founder of judo, brought it to judo in 1883. Wow. Think about it. He brought it to in 1883. March. Another episode. We will look back when the martial arts started. It started before then, without belts. Think about that. Like I think thousands of years before he decided to do belts, like you see in my hand, right? From there, it spread throughout the rest of Asian martial arts. But Kano didn't fit the system. He borrowed it. The system is used in several competitive sports in Japan, but the most famous is the game of Go. Like, because the word Go translates to 5. No, the game Go is a game that's like chess. Alright? It it's food a it's not okay. So it's not the Chinese checkers that you see with the stars in the marbles, right? It's basically like uh, our chess, except for uh, there's no those marbles, and then you have moves that move similar to what we see in chess. Okay, it's a very strategy uh, game like Risk or whatever. All right. So the purpose of the ranking system is to match computers against opponents of com- uh, comparable skills. That's exactly why Conor Barrett, when he transformed the ancient martial arts of Jiu-Jitsu into the competitive sport we know today as Judo, he needed match a judoka into visibly fair groups. The Kudan or Kyu Dan making system for fighting. Uh, so in a black belt, when you just get your black belt in karate, uh, it's called Shodan level 1. The Nidan. So on Sandan, Yandan, and Shidan. If you know how to count in Japanese, each ni, sun, shi, go, right? Uh, the when you before the belt, it's not Shidan, it's Yono, because the word shi uh, translate into death. So actually in the common word for four is yon. So it won't it's shodan, nidan, sundan, yodan, goldan. Those are the regional ranks of the black belt levels. All right. Uh, uh, Q ranks begins with the higher number, uses in 5 to 10 range, and the countdown to toward 1 as the computer becomes more advanced. After the first Q rank, petitioners then advance to the first Dan, which is Shodan rank. First rank uh, in Japanese terms is it's pronounced Shodan. The Dan ranks count up from Shodan or first rank, first Dan, usually maxing out somewhere between 6th and 10th Dan, which is Rokudan and Judan. To listeners, a good way to think of it is that first Kyu would represent a very skilled amateur, while first Dan would represent a very beginning professional. That's far from entire accurate picture. The idea of changing money which was associated with the term professional, has nothing to do with it, but it kind of gets across the general idea. The system is used fairly commonly in Japanese competitive events. There, there's even a particular brand of Japanese flower arrangement that uses the Kyudon system. Uh, we have similar systems that in the West, including several different chess rating systems. This is true. Like I said, the idea of the idea behind the game Go was chess, like I explained earlier. Uh, Kano introduced colored belts into the system when he brought it into judo. The original judo belt color scheme consisted of light blue for brand new students at 6 kyu, white for the remaining 5 kyu ranks, and black for Dan ranks. At 6th through 8th Dan, practitioner could choose to wear either black or red and white panels belts, and at 9th and 10th Dan, practitioners could wear either black or solid red. Gichin Fun uh, Funa Fuko. Let me try this. Pronounce this name, because Gichin Funagoshi Funagoshi. Yeah, Fu. The F has a H, like an H sound at the beginning. Gichin Fu nah Funagoshi. I'm trying to pronounce that correctly, and I pronounce virtually. I'm sorry. Japanese, and I can speak a little bit Japanese. Funagoshi again borrowed the Kyudon ranking system for Shotokan in 1924 when he brought it into the Japanese school system. From there, the system was spread first into the other style of karate and back into jujitsu, and then outward into the many other martial arts. By the late 20th century, it would have spread into a Korean and Chinese style. Think about that. It takes them 1924 to spread. Like think about this. Chinese, the the beginning of uh, martial arts, Asian martial arts, as we think. But if you really look back the history, it goes beyond that, man. It's like before we see it's like 900 something. No, it's 700 and something. I want to say it's 758 BC. I'm not 100% off 56 BC. I know it's been a long time. Uh, about close to the time when Romans and effect I had a buddy of mine said that martial arts could become from Africa. Uh, the all the sticks fighting that you seen with the sticks like Kali and Shurima, all that. Uh, According to him, that they in Africa was training sticks, wrestling, wrestling, boxing, all that, all what you see now. Uh, Always there was Africa was already mixing martial arts back then. They had wrestling, they had the stick fighting, and so on. That's another, and again, that's another uh, entire video. But I'm just giving you some cooler pinpoints there. Anyway, back to the uh, this is the long one. I don't think I will read this whole thing, but if you wanna check it out, Spirit spiritmaidstill.com/actual dash origin origin karate dash belt slash, and I'll put in the comments. I'll put the links down below. So right there, if you want to read the entire history of this, and so you'll learn more about the karate belts and educate yourself about them, where it came from, how it was developed. Do so. It's a good story. I read this whole thing about once, and it's a very fascinating story. I do recommend them. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification for about if you want to know about more of the martial arts stuff. I got no a lot of knowledge. I was trying to do this off the top of my head. I don't want to mess it up, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to start talk about the history of karate. Uh, because that's my where I came from as well. I came from that background as well, from the karate uniforms. Man, I started in American karate, Jewish period American karate. Uh, Trying to think of the pledge he used to say. There was uh, I don't remember. It's been years ago. And then I went to traditional karate, which was cool. I loved karate do, which is uh, cool because I'm learning about because it's similar to Shodokan Ryu. So it's pretty cool to read that. The guy who helped made Shodokan. Let's continue onward. Uh, Many styles and even many dojos within the same with the same style adopt their own belt color system, making it nearly impossible to compare belts from different dojos. There are a handful of fairly common color schemes. For instance, a very few Japanese schools will use the red belt for a Kyu grade. Those usually represent the highest of the Den grade. As I said earlier, the so the once you become a eighth Hachi dan, Cool dan, and then the Grandmaster, which is Judan. Um, when you get those levels, you are in the red belt, and it's anyways, uh, those usually represent the highest of the den grades, and the schools that use the red for Kyu ranks usually use it for the first Kyu. And if so, there are glaring expectations from time to time. I've made it a habit to ask students transferring from the other dojos how long they've been training, rather than what color the belt is. It gives a far better picture of the student's actual skill level. Interesting. Oh, that's it. I thought it was longer than that. But there you have it, folks. That's the actual origins of karate belts. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Do the whole YouTube thing. I hope you enjoy what I have. I'm sorry. If you had a hard time understanding, hopefully I speak clearly for you guys. I do have a slight speech impediment. If you can share this, I appreciate it. It'll help anybody who has a speech impediment like me to get up there. I'm a father. I'm a father first, but I like to do these videos to help educate you guys. Especially when you go into your journey. If you don't know if you didn't know the history of karate belts, now you do, man. All right. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace.